assholes. And you know, as usual, we will be the ultimate judges if these people are actually, in fact, the asshole, or if Reddit is wrong. And I'm really excited. I'm really tired. So forgive me if the mood is a little bit more chill today. I haven't even made it through my coffee yet, even though I have been awake for a few hours. It's like 2:30 p.m, 1 a.m. I was confused. Anyway, midday. On Sunday actually, so you're seeing this on the same day. I've been seeing a friend for a few days, so I wasn't able to get the video ready before that. But now we're ready, and I'm very excited for these assholes. I made this video before with obviously different stories, and everyone really enjoyed it. So I'm really hoping you're gonna enjoy this video. If you aren't already, please subscribe. I would love to have you here. And I see you guys watching this video but not subscribing. So it would mean a lot, obviously, to me if you would. This is still a small channel, so come join. We do Reddit stories every Sunday. I was gonna say Friday. Every Sunday. And I love to chat with you and talk about these stories. So yeah, come and join us. You know, leave a like, leave a comment. I'm always really excited to read about your opinions on these videos. It's always fun to me when you guys rewatch or like find one of my old videos and then comment on those, because I'm like, what was I talking about? And then I like go back and try and figure out what you mean. And I really enjoy that, and I think it's great. So I'm having a good time. I hope you are having a good time. And I'm gonna stop yapping now, and I'll get into these asshole stories today. Let's go. Okay, our first asshole story of the day is called "Am I the Asshole for Refusing to Have a Fully Child-Free Wedding?" So, I recently proposed to my long-term girlfriend, and we are planning for a wedding in summer next year. Everything is still very early stages. My fiance has expressed that she wants a child-free wedding, which I am all down for, but I want to make an exception for my son, 15, male. I had him from a previous relationship, and we have evenly split custody of him. Until now, my fiance has gotten along great with him. We've had days out as a family. She's gone to see his games. He plays ice hockey. And she's even taken him out on fun days, just the two of them. I brought up that I wanted to make an exception to the no kids rule for my son. She shot the idea straight away and said that she didn't want anyone under 16 there, as she doesn't want to feel like she or anyone else has to babysit on her special day. I told her that no one would have to babysit him. He's 15 and she knows he's very well behaved and a genuinely quiet kid. She then changed her reasoning and asked why I wanted my older family and life on the day I was supposed to be making a commitment to her and our new family here. I told her while I will be making a commitment to her, my son will still very much be my son and my family. She then equated it to wanting my ex at our wedding, which I do not and never asked. when it comes to our wedding. She started calling me controlling by giving me an ultimatum and said I had initially agreed to a child-free wedding, and now I am gaslighting her. I said we can have a mainly child-free wedding, but with this one exception. An exception that guests can't even complain about being unfair, since the only child is the son of the groom. She called me a dick and is now not talking to me. I really think this is an unreasonable want, but maybe I'm not seeing something, so am I the asshole? I will say, this is, I promise you, this is flagged as an asshole post. So the overall vote under this thread or under this post was that he is the asshole. And listen, I can't straight up tell where he would be the asshole, but I'm thinking what's happening in the comments is probably that everyone's saying he's the asshole for not sticking up a little bit for his kid. I think that's gonna be the ultimate thing here, and I think I kind of agree. Okay, so firstly, I don't think I would consider 15 a kid anymore. I'm kind of thinking like where I would say like the child to teenager thing begins. Like if you really don't want like a child-free wedding, you know, like what age does that equate to? And I'm kind of thinking that would for me be everything till 12 and including 12, so 13 on is fine. Because listen, what I'm thinking with the babysitting, right? Babysitting is a classical teenager job, you know, and one of my friends was definitely already babysitting when she was 15, so I kind of feel like this son wouldn't need a babysitter. He already is the babysitter, do you know what I mean? So I don't really see the problem here. I wouldn't even consider him a child anymore. If someone would have said it to me when I was 15, like, I would have been so confused. When I was 15, I was super independent. But I think what's really going on here, and what I'm guessing now, is where the asshole thing is gonna come in part, is that he's not seeing the red flags that this woman is showing. Because to not have your own, like, to not have your partner's biological children, or even, you know, non-biological, if they were family, if they are family, if they are considered his kids, at the wedding, that is a super red flag request. And I think we're about to show our true colours. And I think he's in for a treat if he marries her, because I'm guessing, and I'm guessing that's where Reddit's gonna go after, is that this woman is gonna do her best to cut the father-child relationship off and will want him all for herself. Especially because she did say, she said that she wants him to like spend it with her family, the new family and stuff. Like, red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag. I think personally, and I'm thinking that's what's gonna go on, because I don't know if I'm wrong, like maybe I'm the red flag here, like am I missing the point? Because I'm not thinking he's the asshole for standing up for his son. I will say, I was not at my biological father's wedding when he remarried. We weren't invited, we didn't even know about it until afterwards, and I didn't even have contact with my father for quite a long time at this point, and it's still like child, especially in a precarious situation where your parents are divorced or split, whether you're previously married or not. So definitely don't do this to your son. Definitely not. And I think this is where we're gonna be now, so the top comment is the top comment is from a mod saying the flare is correct and won't be changed. The top vote was you would be the asshole. If you meant not the asshole but want to use another vote to make a point, you can add a special station or whatever. Okay, so I'm guessing the vote was you would be the asshole, which is what I'm saying. Okay, don't comment though. Wow. She doesn't want your own kid to come to your own wedding. And not a crying baby or terrible too, but a 15-year-old. A kid that will be old enough to drive next year when the wedding is. Oh, true. Next year, the wedding. If this goes on as she wants, do you think your kid won't remember? I'm sorry, bud, but this all kinds of Steve's evil stepmother red flags. The whole thing about you making a new commitment to her and her family and equating having your son there to having your ex-wife there. Dude, get out now while you just have to eat the non-refundable deposit for the wedding. Save yourself and your kid a whole world of hurt. You would be the asshole if you marry this woman. Added to add, you never had a fight like this before, because up to this point she's been putting on a show, but now she's comfortable enough in the relationship to show you who she really is. Yeah, see, I think this is a slippery slope. The next comment is not the asshole. Why is my boyfriend clapping? You're welcome. Anyway, even at the child-free weddings, there are reasonable exceptions, and a child as a bride and or groom are very reasonable exceptions. Of course, if the child is of a very young age, it would be unfair on the guests if the kid gets free run to disrupt the wedding, whilst older, better-behaved children aren't invited on the basis of being distractions. And given he's 15 now, and the wedding is next summer, surely by then he will only be a few months shy of her cutoff. Since you say she's a long-term girlfriend, I presume that fiancé has known your child some time, and you proposed, so I'm also presuming she's not excluded him before. But now, and then quoting her, like a spiel about the new family. Wow, so what is she expecting? The boy no longer to be part of your life the moment you say I do? Because that revised reason for excluding him from the wedding screams that she already mentally excluded him from your life. But let's pretend she didn't suggest your son was simply part of your old life. Let me ask you a few questions here. Exactly how old will your son be at the wedding? Who chose the wedding date? Why is the cutoff 16, not 18? And then OP actually responded and said, he will still be 15 by the wedding. The date was mutually agreed on. I'm not her, so I don't know exactly why 16 was chosen, but we are from the UK, where 16 is when kids finish secondary school, the British equivalent to high school, so maybe that's that, I don't know. Yeah, that's the same here in Germany, but I still wouldn't say you're a literal child. if we are moving forward here, like this is what is going to happen and nothing else. Are we doing this or are we not doing this? But I really hope he's going to stand up for his kid, because nothing hurts more than being disappointed by family members. You know, there's no pain than the one your family members can inflict. So I'm really hoping this is going to turn out well, and hope he decided on a good of things. This post is a year old, so I'm hoping we made good decisions. Alright, the next story I wanted to read was actually deleted, so we're jumping over that one, and we'll see at the end if we still need another story. But for now, the next story is called Am I the Asshole for Reminding My Friend that just because she's poor doesn't mean I am? Wowsy. I, 20 female, am enrolled in the laundry program at school, where I pay a lump sum and they do my laundry for me all year. It is very popular at my university, and they pick it up from my dorm weekly. My 21 female friend is weirdly obsessed with this and constantly comments on it for some reason. She always comes over and sees my bag, and she has some random comment to say. She'll say, "How could anyone pay for that?" To which I always say, "Why would I ever do something I don't want to if I can just pay for someone else to do it for me?" I'm wondering if she's like this to everyone, because that would explain why she has only a few friends. Almost everyone I know uses the laundry program. Her unwanted comments make me like her less. She did it again and was like, "What a waste of money. The laundry program is ridiculously expensive, and no one can afford that." I simply said that I don't find it expensive at all, and that she finds it expensive because she's poor. I'm not, so I'll continue paying for the program. She's furious that I called her poor, but she is. It's just a fact. Am I the asshole? Okay, listen. You can kind of tell this was written by a 20-year-old. I don't know, just something about it. It's so petty, yeah. But listen, we'll start from the beginning. First of all, I think getting your laundry done is amazing, okay? I hate doing the laundry. It's the one household task I personally absolutely hate. I hate having to wash it. I hate having to remember getting it out of the washing, because 30% of the time I forget about it, so it's in the washing machine for too long, and then I have to wash it again, or I realize that I haven't hung it up at 2 a.m. at night. That has actually happened previously. And then I need to hang it up in the middle of the night when I'm tired and I just want to go to bed. So I would love having someone do laundry for me, yeah. Especially, get it off the rack again, fold it. I even don't like putting it back in the shelves, but maybe that I could do. But yeah, I would literally love that. And right now, my boyfriend and I have the agreement that I vacuum, because he hates that, and he's doing the laundry, because obviously I hate that. But if I'm ever in the financial situation I can afford to delegate these tasks to someone incredibly helpful, I will. That is a splurge. That is something I would want to do expensive. I'm still guessing it's like a splurge, you know. But all I'm saying, I don't think this is like a €500 thing a month, you know. This might be like maybe you pay $1,000 for it for the year and then you're done, and I think that is a good deal, especially if you also think like how expensive a washing machine or a laundromat is and how much time you also have to invest in that. So this is a really amazing service. I would love that. I've had friends live in dorms where they only have like a washing machine in the basement and it is pure chaos. From what I've heard of like people, you know, taking your stuff out of the washing before it's even like done, of them just like chucking on the ground like all wet and soggy. You know, every man for themselves. So if you know that option would be there, I would definitely like take care of that, or like I would definitely do that. And I think personally that I would also be a little bit annoyed if my friend would constantly go on about it. Like, okay, whatever, I'm getting my laundry done, like, get over it. I'm sure the friend, like, regardless of the fact if she's poor or not, also has like certain things they like to splurge on. Like, I really like to splurge on books and occasionally on makeup, and I don't think anyone, like everyone, I mean, I don't think everyone can relate to that, you know. To some people, a library card or like a Kindle unlimited subscription is perfectly fine, and they think it's not the best use of money that I like spend €100 a month on books or something, you know. But ultimately, I don't think we should be commenting on other people's like spending habits, okay? So I definitely think the friend is like overstepping a boundary here, and it's feeling really naggy, and it is giving off jealous energy, which it's kind of hard because if you're like really poor, okay, I was fortunate enough that I always grew up, you know, having enough and never feeling like my family is too poor to afford certain things. But I will say, if they would have this program at university, I probably wouldn't be able to pay for it. And I think my parents wouldn't particularly want to pay for it. I don't know. It's kind of one of those things where I'm like, would my mom do that? But probably not. So I understand that would be like very frustrating for someone to like see, and you know, also it's like a crazy thing, okay? I don't think this is something that happens at every school, so it's kind of like a cool thing. So I'm also kind of seeing the side of the friend, but it is, you know, a little mean-spirited to always say like, how could someone pay for that? I don't know, because, you know, if you don't have the means to pay for that luxury, because in the end it's a luxury, it's not a need, it's a luxury, yeah. And if you choose, or if you don't have the money to pay for it, or if you choose not to pay for it because it's not that useful to you, I think that is a-okay, and there's nothing anyone needs. But I think it's also a bit naggy and petty to crucify someone else for, you know, doing it, especially over and over and over. I will say though, you know, calling your friend poor is rude, and especially because the OP says, because that would explain why she has a few friends. I think that's kind of a little mean, snidey, you know. I'm just hearing like a bit of a snottiness, ragginess, judginess out here. is really annoying me, and this is something I choose to pay for, that I choose to spend money for, that also has to come from somewhere. This is a luxury I allow myself, and I would like to not be judged for it. I'm like, not doing other things because I'm getting I don't know. So I would have had a bit more of a nice conversation here before going to these extremes, it's a bit rude, but I will say I find both rude, and I think ultimately this is just a little bit of like petty college girl drama. And the top comment is, everyone sucks here. She's clearly jealous and resentful, and you're clearly unempathetic, snotty, and not caring or savvy enough to handle this with any wisdom or grace. Pointing out someone's lack of resources isn't kind. Did you earn that money, or is it your parents who actually pay? I am surprised you have any friends too. Yeah, listen, the comment underneath that is my thoughts exactly. I really hate when offspring count their parents' wealth as their own, and likewise hold a parent's lack of wealth against someone. When you're in school, your brain and your personality are your currency, because none of you are earning. Obviously, there are exceptions. Just stop judging people for things beyond their control, especially young people. There's so much anxiety in this age group because of this kind of behavior. Other comment says, everyone sucks here. This is not hard. I hate doing laundry, and I am lucky I have the money to hire somebody else. I got it. You think it's a waste of money. I don't care what you think about my laundry. Stop giving me shit about it. You can shut her down without calling her poor. Yeah, the thing is, saying you're just too poor to understand isn't an actual reason. It is just being mean. It's just straight up that. It's just being mean. In response to someone else being mean, because that's ultimately also what the other girl's doing. But yeah, someone said, is this real? Everyone sucks here, but you are definitely the big asshole. For many people, college is the first time they're exposed to truly different lifestyle, economic class structure, and upbringings. You both learn from each other. Neither of you chose the backgrounds you came from. Yeah. Ooh, okay, hang on. Someone's saying, I was going to go with everyone sucks here, but after reading your incredibly entitled and self-absorbed comments, I want you to know that you are leaning towards you're the asshole, and boy, are you in for a shock in life. You've been fortunate enough to have generous parents who are willing to support you financially, but this is not the case for all people, even those from upper middle class families. My parents were wealthy, and they held every dollar over my head. Not everyone has parents who are willing to help, even if they can. You need to be more self-aware and empathetic towards other people. Be sensitive and kind, because life always comes full circle. I need to look for comments. Okay, comments. Okay, there's 3 comments. I'll read you those that come from the original girl who posted this. I am a college student. My parents are supposed to subsidize me. Ooh, they wouldn't be very good parents if they weren't. And I've had plenty savings and investments in my own name since childhood. I mean, listen, I'm a big fan of you put kids in the world, you take care of them, but your parents are not supposed to subsidize you. Like, Miss Ma'am, you're 20 here, like, you can pull your own weight, you can get a side hustle, what do you think is going on? And not every parent can subsidize their children. getting it out. Another comment is, no socioeconomic status is based on your family unless they disown you or something. We're upper middle class and have savings, investments in my own name since childhood. Listen, where did these savings / investments come from that you had since your childhood? I am guessing they're your parents' money that they invested for you, that you only have because you're fortunate enough to have well-earning parents who have the means to put you through college. And the last comment was, my parents take good care of me and would never let me pay. I've always suspected my friend is jealous because her parents are unsupportive and she doesn't like them. But I feel like she should know better than to tell others what they can afford. It's rude to talk money. It's rude to talk about money at all, honestly. I agree. I feel like we should not talk about money, and your friend is probably jealous, but that doesn't mean you need to rub it in, because your friend cannot do anything about the fact that her parents aren't able to support her as much as your parents are able to. And I think we're forgetting how much it costs to send your kids to college, okay? The poor parents we are talking about here are already, doing their best to put this girl through college somehow, even though apparently they're considered poor. So, I mean, education isn't something you deserve, it's something you earn. If you I mean, everyone deserves an education, okay? And I think, from a German standpoint, like in Germany, university is subsidized by the state, so we don't pay for going to university. You pay a little bit, and again, not everyone can afford even going to uni here, okay? Because so you pay about 400 euros a semester in uni fees. It's less now because back in the day, so when I started uni, we also had a train ticket included in our semester fee, and now we don't. And I think, what did I pay? I think I paid like 80 euros for my last semester. So there's a stark contrast to what you would pay in in America, for example. I don't think I would be able to go to university in America. I mean, also because my parents never planned for me to go to university in America, they're never prepared for that. But again, even in Germany, where the price of your uni is as low as like 80 euros a semester, so every 6 months, you still have so many other costs. You need living, you need food, you need insurances, you need textbooks, you need uni stuff, you need a laptop, you need so many things, and most uni courses are like full-time, so you have a very hard time doing a job while going to uni. At least, you can maybe do a side hustle, but I don't think you can have a full-time job that you're able to like fund your entire life with. So even in Germany, some parents aren't able to send their kids to uni because they just straight up aren't able to afford someone else's rent and cost of food and stuff if they're not living at home. So I think this is just a generally huge problem that not everyone is able to go to uni, and just someone in your life, okay, whether it's you, your parents, a loved one, is always going to have to put on more stress for you to go to uni. Either you take up a lot of time and work your ass off to pay your own way through uni, or your parents take on a huge load of extra expenses to put you through uni, or someone else in your life does, and it's just not always possible. And I think, looking down on that is very rude. It's very rude, it's very immature, and I think immaturity is like the best I can say in this case, and probably, from both of them. So, let's wrap it, because I think we've went on about this for way too long. And we'll get into the next story, because this is kind of a long one. So, let that be said. But I think I agree with the everyone sexy boat is literally getting dark. But I hope you enjoy the less bright lighting. The next story is called, "Am I the asshole for telling my friend it is her fault for getting married and having kids late because the world won't wait on her now?" Oh boy. I, 39 female, have a 6-person girl group since college. They're all 37 to 39 female, and that includes Mary, a 38 female. We have been close throughout the years and have been at milestone events for each other. Mary just had a baby and is completely fitting the crazy new mom stereotype. In college, Mary has always been someone who had to make it known that she was unique / different from the rest of us, which wasn't as draining then as it has become now. For starters, all other women in our circle got married between the ages of 22 to 29, and we all have multiple kids. So the 5 of us were able to experience those milestones alongside one another and got closer as we started to share similar lifestyles. Mary was very adamant on not settling until her 30s because she wanted to travel and have different experiences, which we all supported. Regardless, she would continue to make comments about how she's so lucky, like us, because we are tied down with husbands and babies. I think this is where she grew resentment towards us, because we were in different places in life and she was upset we couldn't have our group be similar to how it was in college. Then, into our mid-30s, it became a whole saga of she's getting older and can't find a husband because all the good men are married and divorced with kids, or divorced with kids. When she finally got married, many could not attend because it was a destination event and child-free during COVID. This caused a fight because she said how she was there for us during our weddings, but we couldn't put aside a week for her. We'd all told her how we wished we could, but it simply was not financially feasible and didn't logistically work with our kids. But she just refused to hear us out and was simply so inconsiderate about our lives and families, saying we were horrible friends. Now, Mary just gave birth to her first child, and I was very excited for her. The only issue is that she moved from our state to a very remote place that is only accessible by a 6-hour car ride. Her baby is 6 months old, and none of us have been able to go up to visit her. I think she's been having a wrong idea of what a village is, and has essentially demanded in our group chat that we come up for the holidays and help her out because she's having a hard time adjusting to mom life. But this would entail we all take a week off, arrange childcare, figure out transportation, and book hotels during the holidays. It's gotten her to the point where she's posting cryptic messages on Facebook, bashing fake friends who won't be there for her. As much as I wish I could, I cannot physically support her in the way she needs me to do in this this stage of life. It would have been completely different if she still lived in our city, and this was earlier in life, when we had less commitments / priorities. So I told her this, and that if she was hoping for this big village and constant support, she should have thought about that when planning out her life, because we can't all just pause our lives for her. So am I the asshole? Oh boy. I was like, where's the asshole coming in? And then she came out swinging right in the end. So I think everyone's very judgy here. What's going on? I think, okay, that you should be very supportive of your friends, regardless of what their path is, and not be so judgy. And I get the vibe from like everyone in this thing here, okay? So maybe this is another one of the everyone sucks here case, but Mary, like back in the day, saying everyone was like tied down with husbands and babies, and then going on like now all good men are gone. I think that is also incredibly petty and rude to your friends to say stuff like that. Like, we all choose very, very different paths in life, and I think that's fine. And for some people, certain things, won't be as important, and for others they are. Where was I? It's distracting me with this clapping. I don't know why we're clapping. I think he's watching football or something. Anyway, where was I? I lost my thought. But where I was kind of going at is, I find it really rude to like judge anyone on their path in life, because you never know what that person wanted. And I think it's totally fine to get married, to have babies between 22 and 27, and it's also okay to not want that, to want to focus on your career first, to want to travel first, to just sit at home and enjoy your own life first. I don't know, I think it is just everyone has a different path in life, and life would be boring if everyone did the same thing anyway. So I already think Mary was kind of judgy, and it's kind of like a little bit of karma, that her friends now are like judging her, but at the same time, you're literally just giving the same energy back, and it's just kind of like icky. I don't know, you're all grown-ups here, and I think you could be supportive in different ways. I think Mary's a bit delulu to, request all these things from her friends. I think though, if no one would support me in these life decisions that I made, in like, having a baby at a certain age or whatever, and just no one cares about it, like especially those people party life. She is, chatting around. She is having fun, like being single and stuff. And then I'm obviously in a long-term relationship. I'm still doing uni. I'm doing like jobs on the side. I have a cat. I'm a bit more of a mom now. I am a bit more like inside and stuff. And then our third friend has been working for a very, very long time. She's a nurse. So I think she's been already working for like 5 years now, full time. So obviously there's a huge disparity between us students and her, on a full-time salary. She's also in a long-time relationship with her husband now. She just got married this summer. So you have all these different personalities. Like me and my boyfriend are definitely not getting married for like still a few years. I'd say that we still have a few good years of not being married in us. And we've been already together for almost 6 years now. And then you have someone married, you have someone like single and like out there, so yeah. It's just different parts of life, but I would never ever like think that my way of life is anything more or anything less than those of my friends. Do you know what I mean? It's just alright, but let's jump into the comments. The top comment is, I have to ask, has she provided a lot of support to the group? Was she there for your weddings, which may have made difficult demands on her? Has she provided time and resources for the group's children over the years, such as babysitting and the like? I ask because as the childless one in the friend group, I'm often expected to be ride or die, but when it comes to return on the favors, sorry bro, it's just too hard with the kids. Comes up a lot. Sure, if some of these stories were told, I'd look like an entitled asshole, but I'm absolutely ride or die in general. But seriously, are some people ungrateful? It definitely depends on what was going on there before. Someone said, right, I get the vibe that OP thinks that Mary didn't have to put effort and paused her own life to attend their weddings and helping them, as she was unmarried and childless. Mary could have made a lot of sacrifices and efforts to attend their wedding and help them out, but now these friends won't even visit her. OP claims she can't put her life on pause, but has she thought about the fact that her friend might have done so far for her? I think Mary's wrong for being rude about your life choices, but doing the same thing makes you no different to her. I agree. Someone said, bring on the downwards, but you're the asshole. You should have thought about that a long time ago. It's such a sick move. Like, what is she supposed to get a time machine? That shows a ton of resentment for her different life. Post is so one-sided and demonized this lady to such a massive extent that I struggle to believe that it, or at least many of the details of it, are true. Every choice your friend makes goes wrong in a way you show some schadenfreude about in your writing style. Why is there a random German word in it? If you don't know what schadenfreude means, it's a German word, and it's actually kind of funny here, because we have random words for really random things, but schadenfreude basically means to be happy about someone else's misfortune or misery. So, when you're like in the corner going like, that happened to them, that's kind of schadenfreude, and I think this really fits here. I think OP was like waiting for this to come around and for her to get the chance to say all this stuff, and that shows a lot of resentment, I will say. My friend delayed getting married and then bitched about all the guys being married. Really? Yeah, your friend sounds like an asshole, so do you. You obviously went down different life paths and resent each other for it. Yeah, they really do. They like hate each other, I tell you that. Everyone sucks here. Your friend is she has kids, then when you did, you would have had your own little kids to take care of. If anything, your kids are right now around 10 or so, and it should be easier to take off a week. The issue that she lives too far away for you to help support her. It was rude for you to shame her for having standards and living her life, as it was for her to shame you for not being able to attend her wedding. If you want to be in her life, I hope you send her baby gifts. If you don't, no harm, no foul. What? I didn't understand anything. Someone said everyone sucks here. Let's just ignore the destination wedding, because destination weddings always hard, I think. But your comments are about her life choices was out of line and rude. How does she line up her life with yours exactly? How does she plan to have kids when you did? If she can't find a partner to connect with in that time period, that's a real asshole thing to bring up. Now she's also acting immature and thoughtless, and bringing this nonsense to social media always makes someone an asshole, in my opinion. That's true. We just wanted to hear how unreasonable Mary is, and kind of really didn't want to reflect on her own actions. But I will say, I think, again, both are the asshole and both are really, really rude to each other, and really not understanding for the different life paths each other on. And I think there was a lot of festering and growing resentment that has built up for a very, very long time, and it's now full force hitting them in the face. But I think we'll continue. We talked a lot about this. I'm interested on what you think. Do you think she's the asshole? Do you think she should do something more for her friend? What are your opinions? Love to hear. But we'll move on to the next story now. The next story is called Am I the Asshole for Punishing My Family by no longer doing birthdays, holidays, or vacations because my dad screwed me and my wife over? When my wife and I were talking about getting married, my dad said he would give us a down payment for home. We were thrilled and kept that in mind. We would be able to afford a good starter home with his help, and we scrimped and saved to add to it. Except, apparently he meant a sum of money good for a down payment for a house near us, where the cost of living is low. He did not ever mean a down payment for a home in Colorado, where my wife and I have lived since we were in college. He said he thought I would be smart enough to realize that we need to move somewhere with a lower COL than Colorado. He keeps saying, move to a cheaper city. Our lives are here, our friends, our jobs, our hobbies. You can't exactly leave your house and be up on top of a 14,000 feet peak in 6 hours where my family is. I told him we had never talked about moving back here, and we never would, that we would rather be stuck renting for a while longer than being stuck somewhere we didn't want to be, and the move to a cheaper city wouldn't work for us. He said, so be it, and gave us the amount, and that was that. I expressed gratitude and thanked him for the money. It is still towards the goal. Wow, because of this shift in our finances, we have had to make a lot of changes to save up the rest of the money here. We had to cut out vacations, birthday gifts, holidays, etc. We won't be traveling home for a few years. At our current rate, we should have an okay down payment by the end of next year, 2025. My dad confronted us about this because we won't come for a summer break trip, and told me that I was being a selfish, entitled brat because I hadn't gotten my way. us are easily over 400k, and that's for the sketchy ones. But is my dad right? Am I the asshole? And to add, there was no amount formally discussed. He said a down payment, and that was that. For my siblings, he paid for college. He paid cash in full for my sister's house, which was $370,000. He did not pay for my college. They are invited to come here anytime, but believe it should be me to go there because I'm the one who moved. No, we do not go out to eat. Avocado toast, Starbucks, cable, etc. I think this is a bit of a wild one. First I was like, okay, where is this person the asshole again? I feel like, you know, if you get screwed over if you don't get the money, but then he did get the money. But now I'm wondering, like, how much was he got? Like, I'm a little bit confused. I think we're really missing a lot of info here. But I will say, if there's no amount discussed, they did actually just presume how much it would have been. And, like, fatal mistake, my friend. Like, never do that. Like, especially, like, don't build your life around the expectation of someone else owing you anything. It just doesn't work out as you planned it, like, ever. So I think that was quite kind of a mistake there. But then on the other hand, I also think, like, the dad's like a little rude. Like, I think it's just like a huge miscommunication. And okay, I will say it's odd of the dad to expect them to, like, move back when they have a full life in an entirely different city. But at the same time, if you're super close to your family, like, how was that never communicated? And I think it is really, really great for, like, a parent if they're able to support their kid in getting a house, because tough times. But it is just a really, really nice and selfless thing, and it's just not to be expected or to be assumed. I don't know. And I kind of get the, okay, we didn't get enough, like, we have to reiterate, okay, there was a huge miscommunication, and now we're going from there. They both definitely miscommunicated, but I wouldn't say anyone is the asshole, like, here, because one had one expectation of what this amount would be, and the other had the other, you know. Regardless if a sibling got more or less, I'm a big fan of treat your kids the same, so maybe I would also be a little bit annoyed about that. But I kind of feel like this could be an open conversation to be had, you know, without sounding ungrateful. Just, you know, asking, I don't know, do your best. But I will say what happened, like, afterwards is kind of where it, like, you know, for me, because I got less than expected, I have to save up more, and I think that's fair. And I think, you know, family holidays, okay, it's okay for them not to participate, and they're not the assholes for that. But I will say, like, holiday gifts, birthday gifts, etc., that's rude to not do, because I'm guessing they are still getting gifts from everyone else out of the family, so they're kind of not returning that. And while I think gift giving should never be about, like, same for same, I think it's incredibly rude to be like, oh, well, we didn't get enough money, so we're cutting back on giving you guys gifts. Because, like, I think that should be a cuttable expense. Do you know what I mean? I think that's a little is your dad screwed you and your wife by giving you money, but less than you'd hoped for. If you can't afford to travel, that's one thing, but trying to portray this as your family screwing you over, somehow, yikes. That's a definite you're the asshole to me. I forgot that they said the dad screwed him over in the title. You're the asshole for framing it as your dad is screwing you over. He offered you a down payment for home. You assumed it would be a certain amount, but it wasn't. But he still gave you a generous gift, and now you describe that generous gift as screwing you over. Also, while you're under no obligation to go on family trips, to cut out any visits to them for a few years after your dad gave you this generous gift because it wasn't as much as you were expecting, sent a message whether you meant it to or not. Yeah, you know, definitely, because just be great. I don't know. Someone said, why don't you do some critical thinking and ask them to come visit you this time? I don't know, you guys are both assholes in this situation. Y'all need to communicate better and find a resolution. Yeah, okay, OP commented on that and said, we have told them that since we can't come out here and they've plenty of disposable income, they are welcome to get out here. My mum would love to see us and we'd be happy to have her. My dad is being stubborn and saying they're the parents, so we need to go see them. Listen, if my kid told me, I'm poor and you have disposable income, you come here, I would be like, no, you're an adult now, this isn't how it works anymore. That's definitely a little weird. Yeah, I don't know, the thing is, he did give you money and you're being very, very unappreciative and ungrateful for it, whether you mean it to be or not, and you're feeling mistreated, but you're mistreating your dad at the same time, because I think it's just bad taste. It's just bad taste. I think ultimately it's bad taste and they're not communicating well, because I think, you know, if he would be straightforward and be like, listen, like, I'm so grateful for this gift, but like, it's just a little, like, we like miscalculated how much we would have to like save up, and now we're just unable to afford like long travels. We would like love to have you here if that's something that fits into your time and like budget, but I'm just like currently unable to sacrifice that much money. We're already trying our best to save on like everything else. We are just like unable to. I think we would be like communicating a little better, yeah. I will say, because I saw a few everyone's like here, I don't think the father is really in the wrong. I would be very pissy about that, to be honest. So yeah, let me know what you think. But I'm gonna move on really quickly to the last story here, so this is gonna be a long video. But yeah, let's jump into the last video story. The last story is called Am I the Asshole for Firing an Employee After His Parents Died? Oh my. I'm the VP of sales at a software company, and one of our sales development reps' parents passed away at the beginning of April. Sadly, they were involved in a car crash and both lost their lives. Now, the employee in question is very young, as a very young 22-year-old guy, and has been with us for about 10 months now. He is a great employee, and we were thinking about promotions in the next 6 months for him. His job is a high-paying one for a new grad, about roughly 90k with commissions and base, so we expect a lot from this position. Because of the accident, we let him take a 1-month paid leave of absence from work, and he's returned a few weeks ago, and his performance is severely lacking. He's super unmotivated, not cold calling or reaching out to prospects for the last 2 to 3 weeks. Enough since he's come back. Our whole management team has noticed this, and we decided to let him go because we feel like he'd need months and months to be able to produce again, and we can't just wait that long. We called him into a meeting on Friday afternoon and gave him the bad news. He was very calm and rude about it, told us to go fuck ourselves, and got up and went to his desk, grabbed his few things and left. I thought this was very unprofessional and extremely rude. I told my boyfriend about all this, and he said myself and my management team are a bunch of asses and pricks with no hearts. Am I the asshole? Okay, so I think she is the asshole, and probably the whole, like, management team. I get that, you know, in sales, like, the sales have to be up and going, because that is also important for a company, and you'd be, like, losing out income or whatever, but this is a huge thing that happened. Losing both your parents is not fun, and really, really traumatizing, and, like, really impactful in your life. And to expect someone after a month to be, like, back into the game, you know? No. And the thing is, I kind of feel like there wasn't even a chance for him, you know, I kind of feel like there was no chance that was given to him, or no, like, a compassion for the situation, like, getting a month off for your parents dying, like, that's like the bare minimum. And then he wasn't bringing his A game after. Did we, like, expect that or something? Imagine how you feel in that situation. And then to just, like, let him go without, like, a performance review or something like that beforehand, or, like, you know, offering more time off but with, like, half the pay or whatever. Like, that would have been good. Like, 90k is a lot for someone to earn. And he could take a pay cut or whatever. He showed up to work a month after his parents died, both of them, and he's still working, and you're like, you know, he's not having work on 100%. Are you really expecting that? Like, yuck. It's really heartless, I'll say that. Like, I think obviously it's important for company and probably for their own respective jobs to keep up, like, good sales or whatever, but then I would have maybe, like, tried to bring someone else on, offered him, you know, more time off for half his pay, and for that pay you could take someone on in the meantime. You kind of could ask everyone else in sales to, like, you know, build stack, especially if it's commission based. Like, ultimately, you know, I don't know, and, like, I would have, like, asked him to come in and, like, had a bit of a chat about it, you know, like, I'm incredibly sorry this is, like, happening, that you're going through this, but we're also trying to do our jobs here. Like, we are also expected to bring a certain performance, and we fully understand if this isn't something you can currently bring, but we kind of lead at least this for the, you know, without, like, cold firing him. Yes, I think this is incredibly rude and inhumane. However, I think this is unfortunately the reality of fast-paced workplaces. No, there's an update, a small one, and it says, "Holy fuck, this blew up. I know this was shitty of me now." And I reached out to him to see how he's holding up. He's staying at his girlfriend's place, and she's supporting him a lot right now. I offered to get my headhunter friend in touch with him when he's ready, and he accepted. Yeah. Okay, and then fired him immediately because he wasn't performing. You suck. Yep, congrats, you're the asshole. If this isn't a shit post, well done. You pulled a morning kid's remaining stability and livelihood out from under him 4 weeks after his parents passed away. Hope the rest of the team's morals stay high after this one. Yeah. Listen. I definitely think, in Germany this wouldn't fly at all because we have a little more reliable worker laws. But this is very, very unfortunate, and this shouldn't have happened like this. I'll say that. I think this was a little rude and rushed and not well thought out. Like, he's been back for 2-3 weeks, and he didn't spy him because he didn't bring his A game in those 2 weeks. Like, come on, give us a break. I think this person is definitely the asshole, and I really hope they realize it, and I hope everything is gonna turn out well for that poor kid. I really hope eventually for that kid everything works out. He's gonna find a new and better job where he's more appreciated and more supported. And I'm just incredibly sorry for his loss. Like, talk about, beating someone that's already down, rude. But anyway, I think we can all agree that it was an asshole post here at the end. But I hope you enjoyed all the stories. I hope you enjoyed these assholes. Let me know what you think, if these people are actually assholes or not. I'm very intrigued to know what you think, because I always love that there's so many different ways to think about stories and interpret them based on your own life experience. So I'd love from you, but other than that, thank you so much for hanging out with me today and reading these stories with me. I love you so much, and I hope to see you again in the next video.